Let's get started with our first news. Jon Jones accepts Alex Pereira's call-out for the UFC White House card and takes a subtle jab at Tom Aspinall in the process. After Alex Pereira reclaimed his light heavyweight title from Magomed Ankalaev just a few weeks ago, he respectfully called out Jon Jones, even taking a moment to acknowledge the recent passing of Jon's brother Arthur. The respect was mutual, but things just got a whole lot more interesting. Following the controversial UFC 321 main event, where Tom Aspinall's fight ended in a gruesome no contest due to a double eye poke, Pereira took to Instagram to react. The Brazilian powerhouse posted a cryptic message that instantly caught everyone's attention. He wrote, "Let's make the heavyweight division great again," followed by a stone emoji, a bone emoji, and a house emoji, symbolizing a challenge to Jon Jones for the upcoming UFC White House card. It was a clever and respectful call-out, and the fans absolutely lost it. Not long after, Jon Jones broke his silence on Twitter. The heavyweight champion responded directly to Pereira's post, and in true Jon fashion, he mixed humility with confidence. He wrote, "Alex, I'd be down to bring the highest skill level to the White House. I appreciate the respect you showed. Let's dance." With that short message, Jon essentially accepted Pereira's challenge, but he didn't stop there. Jon also updated his profile banner with a subtle dig at Tom Aspinall, hinting that while others are struggling to stay on their feet, he's still the king of the game. Fans immediately noticed the change and started flooding the comments, debating whether Jon's focus was now shifting away from Aspinall toward a super fight with Pereira. This potential clash would be massive, one of the biggest fights in UFC history. You've got the most dominant light heavyweight of all time, moving up against the most terrifying knockout artist the division has ever seen. It's skill versus power, legacy versus legacy. Alex Pereira, who's already made history by conquering 2 divisions in record time, seems hungry to become the first man ever to defeat Jon Jones. Meanwhile, Jon looks just as motivated, ready to prove once again why he's regarded as the greatest fighter of all time. With the UFC White House card rumored to be one of the most stacked events ever, this fight could headline in spectacular fashion. 2 champions, 2 legacies, 1 historic stage. If this bout gets finalized, fans are in for something truly special. Move on to another news. Demetrious Johnson has stepped in to defend Ciryl Gane after the controversial eye poke incident against Tom Aspinall. The former flyweight champion, known as Mighty Mouse, believes the foul was purely accidental and explained why eye pokes are nearly impossible to eliminate from mixed martial arts. During a recent stream, Demetrious broke it down in detail. He said that when a fighter moves forward aggressively, it's a completely natural reaction for the opponent to open their hands. Once again, it's MMA, he said. If somebody's coming at me, I go like this, my hands come out. It's a natural reaction. That's one thing people don't understand. When you train Muay Thai, when you kick, your hands are open. Even inside gloves, when I throw a kick, my hands are always open. He went on to explain that it's part of the mechanics of striking. People keep saying, oh, there are so many eye pokes in MMA. Guys, my hands are open. That's just how we fight, Johnson continued. Everyone keeps asking, when are we going to fix eye pokes in mixed martial arts? Newsflash. You're never going to fix it. The reason is simple. As human beings, our natural reaction when someone charges toward us is to open our hands and push away. Johnson also pointed out that the foul during Gane's fight with Aspinall was clearly accidental. Obviously, the foul was an accident, he said. But the way Gane had his hands on Tom's face was actually the correct technique. It just went wrong because of how the fingers landed. That's not poor sportsmanship. That's just bad luck. He even compared Gane's movement to some of the best fighters in history. If you go back and watch Jon Jones, he's known for using that same kind of frame, hands out, creating distance. But it's not malicious. When you throw body kicks, when you throw leg kicks, your hands are open. It's part of the rhythm, part of the style. Demetrious emphasized that unless fighters are forced to wear boxing-style gloves that completely close the hands, there's simply no way to stop eye pokes in MMA. You'll never eliminate them, he said. Unless we're fighting in boxing gloves, it's always going to happen. It's part of the sport, part of how our bodies react. In short, Mighty Mouse defended Gane from the backlash, reminding fans that not every foul is intentional. Sometimes, even the most skilled and respectful fighters can make mistakes in the chaos of combat. Move on to another news. Chael Sonnen has stirred controversy once again, saying Tom Aspinall should have continued fighting after the accidental eye poke by Ciryl Gane at UFC 321. The outspoken analyst didn't hold back, expressing disappointment that the heavyweight title fight ended the way it did. During his post-fight reaction, Chael said, "No, I'm just disappointed. I'm disappointed, man. I talked all day yesterday about wanting to see Tom face some real adversity. I wanted to see what he'd do when his first plan didn't work. What's he going to check down to? Would he start wrestling? Could he compete with Ciryl Gane on the feet for 25 minutes? And now we don't get any of those answers. Just like everybody watching at home, I'm disappointed. Chael acknowledged that the eye poke was illegal, but argued that fighting through those moments is sometimes part of being a champion. Look, being poked in the eye is illegal, Brendan, I get it, he said. But fighting with one eye, that's very common in this sport. Your opponent's trying to hit your eyes, trying to bust up your nose, trying to cut you open. That's what they do. It's part of fighting. He then turned up the heat, questioning whether Aspinall showed enough toughness in that moment. So that's where it gets tricky for guys like Anthony and me, Chael continued. We're trying to be polite, we're trying to show grace, but in all fairness, if you're the heavyweight champion of the world, you've got to fight with one eye sometimes. That's just the truth. Chael's comments immediately set off debate among fans and fighters alike. Some agreed with him, arguing that champions are expected to dig deep and fight through adversity, while others pointed out that eye injuries are far more dangerous than cuts or bruises. Tom's right eye was reportedly scratched badly, and he couldn't open it even 20 minutes after the fight ended. Still, Chael stood firm in his stance. This isn't about toughness, he said. Tom Aspinall is a tough guy, but when you're at the top, people expect you to fight through chaos. The great ones find a way. He referenced moments in MMA history where fighters competed with broken hands, deep cuts, or swollen eyes, claiming that champions are defined by how they handle those moments. Whether you agree or not, Chael's take reignited a heated discussion about what defines true championship grit. One thing's for sure, his comments once again prove that when Chael Sonnen speaks, the MMA world listens. Move on to another news. Daniel Cormier believes Ciryl Gane would have been the toughest test of Tom Aspinall's entire career if that unfortunate eye poke hadn't ended things early. During his post-fight analysis, Cormier praised both heavyweights for what they showed in the brief time they had inside the Octagon and explained why this matchup was shaping up to be something truly special. Ciryl Gane fought tonight like we expected him to fight against Jon Jones, Cormier said. He defended takedowns, he was landing his strikes, and Tom Aspinall was getting his offense going too. Tom was landing clean. He actually looked happy in there, smiling, confident, enjoying being pushed by someone who could really test him. Cormier highlighted that this fight was bringing out a version of Aspinall we hadn't seen before. That was going to be the toughest fight of Tom Aspinall's career, he said firmly. I can say that confidently because I saw him with his face and nose all bloody from Gane's jab. Ciryl landed that shot multiple times in just a few minutes. And Tom? He answered back. He landed some nasty stuff too. DC went on to note that Aspinall even unveiled techniques that fans had never witnessed from him before. I saw Tom throw a high kick, he said. I've never seen him do that. And it's partly because he's never had to. This was a fight that was going to bring out new layers of his game. Cormier explained that when two elite fighters face each other, they force one another to dig deeper into their arsenal. There are levels to this sport, he said. And we only find those levels when a fighter is standing across from someone who can push them to use everything they've got. Tonight, Tom was kicking more, wrestling more, and mixing things up because he had to. That tells you how good Gane looked. He praised Gane's composure, saying this was the sharpest version of him since before his loss to Jon Jones. Unfortunately, Gane seemed prepared for everything, Cormier added. He was fighting better than we've seen in a long time. His timing, his movement, his jab, it was all there. He was calm, technical, and ready for whatever came his way. Cormier concluded by saying that the unfinished fight left fans hungry for answers. This was shaping up to be a classic, he said. Both men were showing us something new. It's just unfortunate it had to end that way. For Cormier, the message was clear. If that fight had continued, we might have witnessed one of the best heavyweight battles in recent UFC history. Move on to another news. Jon Jones is once again making headlines after mocking Tom Aspinall following the controversial ending of UFC 321. After the heavyweight title bout ended in a no contest due to a brutal double eye poke, Jones wasted no time throwing shade at the interim champion in classic Jon Jones fashion. Fans noticed something new on Jon's Twitter profile shortly after the event. The heavyweight legend updated his profile picture, the iconic duck image he's been using for months, but this time, he added an eye patch over its eye. The message couldn't have been more obvious. It was a direct jab at Tom Aspinall, and the unfortunate way his fight with Ciryl Gane ended. By the looks of it, Jon is completely overlooking Tom at this point. He doesn't seem interested in getting his belt back from the interim champ. Instead, John appears focused solely on the biggest and most meaningful fight for his legacy. And that, according to him, is Alex Pereira. The two have been trading words in recent days, and John even accepted Pereira's respectful call-out for the rumored UFC White House card. John wrote, "Alex, I'd be down to bring the highest skill level to the White House. I appreciate the respect you showed. Let's dance." With that message, the GOAT made it clear. He wants Pereira next, not Aspinall. The move has divided fans. Some think it's disrespectful toward Tom, while others believe it's a brilliant strategy from John to chase the biggest legacy fight possible. Aspinall, still recovering from the eye injury, has yet to respond publicly. But fans online didn't miss the symbolism behind John's updated profile picture. Memes flooded social media within hours, with many calling it classic Jon Jones behavior, calculated, confident, and unapologetically ruthless. While John continues to stir things up online, the buzz around a potential super fight with Alex Pereira keeps growing. Pereira's power, composure, and historic run across two divisions have made him one of the most dangerous men in the UFC today. A clash between these two would be nothing short of massive. Meanwhile, Aspinall remains in limbo, waiting for his next step while the heavyweight division swirls with speculation. Whether the UFC decides to rebook his fight with Gane or move toward a new matchup, it's clear the drama surrounding the top of the division isn't slowing down anytime soon. Jon Jones might be mocking, but one thing's certain. He knows exactly how to keep the spotlight on himself. And once again, the entire fight world is watching. Move on to another news. What's next for Tom Aspinall and Ciryl Gane following the shocking events of UFC 321? After months of build-up and anticipation surrounding Tom Aspinall's return, the MMA world finally got to see him back in action. But unfortunately, it ended in horrible fashion. Aspinall faced Ciryl Gane in the main event of UFC 321, and early on it looked like we were in for something special. Gane came out sharp, using his elite movement and precise striking to bloody the nose of the heavyweight champion with a stiff left hand. Aspinall kept pressing forward, but Gane's speed and footwork were clearly giving him issues. Then disaster struck. Just minutes into the fight, Gane accidentally poked Aspinall in both eyes. The English heavyweight tried to recover, but it quickly became clear he couldn't see, especially from the right eye. Despite being given several minutes to recover, he told the referee he was done, and the fight was waved off. A visibly frustrated Aspinall expressed his disappointment after the fight, telling Daniel Cormier that the bout was just starting to get going. Fans inside the arena began booing, not realizing how serious the injury was until the replay aired. Once they saw the slow-motion footage showing the double eye poke, the crowd turned, directing their frustration toward Gane instead. Daniel Cormier later revealed in a YouTube video that Aspinall's right eye was completely covered backstage. "I saw Tom," Cormier said. His right eye was bandaged shut. We're 20 minutes past the fight and he still can't open it. The crazy part is, his other eye was the one where Gane's finger went knuckle deep. The right side was just scraped down more. He was in obvious pain. Cormier added that the matchup had all the makings of Aspinall's toughest challenge yet. "Gane fought tonight like we expected him to fight against Jon Jones," he said. He defended takedowns, landed crisp strikes, and forced Tom to use parts of his game we've never seen before. High kicks, pressure wrestling, constant adjustments. That was going to be the toughest fight of Tom's career. Because no winner was crowned and the fight ended so abruptly, the obvious next move is a rematch. Dana White confirmed during the post-fight press conference that the UFC plans to rebook the fight once Tom is medically cleared. The first round gave fans a glimpse of how competitive and high-level this matchup truly is. Both men showed skill, composure, and hunger. Now with unfinished business and even higher stakes, the rematch between Tom Aspinall and Ciryl Gane could be one of the biggest heavyweight fights of the year. Move on to another news. Dana White has finally reacted to the chaotic ending of the UFC 321 main event between Tom Aspinall and Ciryl Gane. The fight ended abruptly in the first round after a brutal accidental eye poke left Aspinall unable to continue, shocking fans around the world. During the post-fight press conference, Dana addressed the situation and confirmed what everyone had been wondering. Yes, the UFC is already looking to rebook the fight. When asked for his immediate reaction to how the fight ended, Dana kept it real. "I mean, I feel the way everybody feels," he said. "It was a great showing, terrible ending. You know, after the Jones fight, a lot of people wrote Ciryl Gane off. But he looked damn good tonight." The UFC president made it clear that despite the controversy, Gane had shown major improvements. and the brief exchange between him and Aspinall was shaping up to be something special before the foul occurred. Reporters then asked what Dana thought of the fight before the incident. "It looked like we were in for a few rounds," he said. "It was going to be a good fight. Both guys looked sharp, calm, and composed. You could tell they both respected each other's power." He admitted that the momentum and excitement of the bout made the abrupt ending even more disappointing. Fans in attendance were left stunned when the doctor waved off the fight after just 4 minutes. Tom Aspinall, clearly in pain, couldn't open his left eye, and Gane was visibly frustrated, realizing the win meant nothing under those circumstances. Dana said the outcome was a total pain in the ass for everyone involved, but confirmed that a rematch is absolutely in the plans. "Yeah, total pain in the ass, but yes," he said firmly. "We'll rebook it as soon as Tom's ready to get back in there." He praised both fighters for how they handled the situation, noting that neither man wanted the fight to end that way. "You could see the respect between them," Dana added. "Nobody wanted that kind of finish. Tom's a warrior. Ciryl's a class act." These things happen, unfortunately, in MMA. The UFC boss also hinted that the rematch could headline another major card later this year, depending on Aspinall's recovery timeline. Fans have already started speculating that the bout could take place on the same event, rumored to feature Jon Jones or Alex Pereira at the UFC White House card. For now, Dana's message is clear: the fight isn't over. The rivalry continues, and when Aspinall heals up, the heavyweight division will once again see these two elite contenders battle it out. For real this time.